What is up, guys? My name is Sparky Midori, otherwise known as the Prince of Darkus, and we all have a favorite Bakugan. If not at least one favorite Bakugan, we have a favorite select few of Bakugan. That is kind of what this video here is to discuss. For you see, at one point in my channel's life, I recall saying that my favorite Bakugan was Phaedrus, which at the time was kind of just due to its toy mold itself, not so much the Bakugan in the show, but because the toy mold itself was so detailed, complex, and cool looking, I liked it. I liked it a lot. But over the years, Bakugan has evolved and found more of an identity for itself and what it wants to do, and designs have changed a lot. So, with that change in designs and new Bakugan coming out and completely new molds, mind you, my taste in favorites has changed drastically. And that's what I'm going to be discussing in this video. My top 10 favorite Bakugan as of 2022. Now, this list may change, come along in 2023 later down the line, with new molds, new toys, new designs, new everything, as everything changes. As I'm aware, most of your favorite Bakugan have changed, mine will eventually maybe as well. So, some things I just want to say before the video starts. First of all, of course, this is purely my list of my favorite Bakugan. Just because your Bakugan is your favorite doesn't make it my favorite. Everything is a factor into play, especially considering distribution. That's the other thing that is a point on this list. The Bakugan that I'm going to be talking about are Bakugan that I need to physically own. Okay, so if I don't have a Bakugan, I don't have any first-hand experience with it, using it, looking at it, playing with it, whatever, I cannot judge it. That is a rule I have set. Other rule I'm going to take into consideration is I cannot be looking at specifically chase Bakugan. So for example, Platinum Diamonds, for example, I'm not looking at those because those Bakugan also have plastic core versions, which are the exact same thing, just without metal. There are also Bakugan that are very, very hard to come across. For example, the 1 out of whatever 100 Bakugan. Those are not here because all those Bakugan have a built-in cool factor. So all chase variants, diamonds, elementals, mythics, whatever. Any chase variant of anything I am not even taking into consideration. That's just no. So if I, for example, include Platinum Drago, that is Platinum Drago. I'm not looking at specifically Diamond Platinum Drago, it is a Platinum Dragonoid. End of it. The fourth contributing factor to this whole list of everything is stats do not matter. Let me explain. The main things I'm looking for on a Bakugan to put it on this list is 1. The card art and design of the Bakugan itself. That and the toy design as well, and whatever experiences I may have with the Bakugan to be included in this list. Because remember, like I stated earlier, I need to own the Bakugan to know it and put it in this list in the first place. Okay, now with all that nonsense and explanation out the way, let's get on to the actual list itself, shall we?
Number 10, Harpyrion Core. The card art. I love it. This card art makes it look fast and sharp in every iteration of the card art that it has. And it does kind of remind me of Sonic in a way, and if you know me, I love Sonic the Hedgehog. He's my favorite video game character of all time. As for the ball of the Bakugan and the toy, from the front it does remind me of Falconeer, and Falconeer is a Bakugan that I've always wanted but could never get my hands on or just find. But then I turn it to the side and I see it's actually got a set of back legs and a splash of black on the design as well, which is amongst all of the Geogan Bakugan. And Geogan Bakugan is, I think, still the best color scheme you've ever got for Bakugan in the reboot, period. And you can fight me on that, I do not care. Number 9 is Auxillary Core. As for the card arts, like Harpyrion, it looks fast and sharp. But at one point this Bakugan was the closest looking to Leonidas, at least to me, at one point when before Leonidas we actually got a toy, so that wins brownie points for me. But actually, for the toy itself, it is simple yet accurate to the card art, especially the little midsection being a little extra thin, and it does show it's narrow, kind of like the actual Bakugan's body is depicted in the card art. So I think it's very accurate, I think it's very sharp, very cool. Plus, the original Bakugan did kind of remind me of Leonidas in a way, so extra points there. Number 8 is Nuius Ultra from Battle Planet. A throwback, if you will. The card art of this Bakugan has nothing too special, sadly, and the only really focus on the card is like the one head with the orange mouth and eyes, but otherwise nothing special. Heck, the core Battle Brawlers Nuius card looks more menacing and scary than the Ultra version, but that's just my opinion. As for the toy, I think this is by far the best Nuius, hands down. This is one of the best toys that I think to have come out of the Battle Brawlers line, even out of Bakugan reboot as a whole, because it just shows us what kind of shapes and things we can expect from Bakugan in the reboot, especially so early on in the reboot's lifetime, and it looks so cute, so cool. When I say cute, I mean it's because it looks like a little kaiju. Okay? I love it. Number 7 is Halcor Ultra, also from Battle Planet. The card art of this Bakugan, I love it. I look at it, I can immediately tell what the Bakugan creature thing, whatever, is immediately based off, being a Cerberus, and it looks menacing. The only thing that I don't really like or understand about the card is the weird sharp point at the end of its tail that kind of makes it look like it's trying to be a scorpion hybrid, but other than that, love it. As for the toy of Halcor Ultra, I love it. This mold is by far the best Halcor mold I think we've ever had, because right away I can tell the focus of it is the 3 heads, if not just the main head, and the dog-like body. It looks like a Cerberus, and I can see it. Whereas the other ones that have come out later down the line, especially in Armor Alliance, you lose a lot of focus on the head, and it looks more like it's a ball with a head attached. Both the core version and the Ultra version of the ones in Armor Alliance and molds that we currently have, it looks more like a ball than a dog. Whereas the Battle Planet version, I can tell you it is a Cerberus, and it works well. Number 6 is Harpyrion Ultra. For the card art of this Bakugan, it focuses mainly on the howling head of the Bakugan, and it just shows us exactly what we're looking at. Even if you don't know that it's based off a werewolf, the howling head that is focused on the art kind of gives the message away. That, and I love, emphasis on love, werewolves. At one point they were my absolute favorite horror movie or horror literature, horror, scary big monster. Look, if you know me, I am a creature feature kind of person. I love monsters, and werewolves are by far one of, if not my favorite monster, besides one other scary monster, which has kind of creeped into my life recently, and I love that one more. If you guys can guess what that new monster I love is in the comments, I don't know, you get a cookie or something, but if you guys can guess it, please let me know what you think it is in the comments, now that you know that my 1-point favorite was a werewolf. Now, for the toy, you see, I'm a bit mixed about the toy. Mainly because, for me at least, it's very difficult to close. But that's the only flaw about it that I see. With its hunchback and big claws on the toys, I can see that this thing is a werewolf. It absolutely does. In fact, you know, it actually reminds me of a horror movie that I loved, or a werewolf movie I loved specifically, Silver Bullets. If you guys haven't watched that, it is a classic, uses practical effects. Go watch it. It is genuinely a good werewolf horror flick. You're gonna love it. You can thank me later. Number 5 is Mantanoid Ultra. The card art of this Bakugan, it looks tall, menacing, and ready to cut down those trees behind it, mainly in the Vengeance artwork, but yeah, I still love it. It's simple and effective, and lets me see exactly what this Bakugan is without anything getting in the way or disrupting the artwork too much. For the toy of the Bakugan, this thing wins me over just like Halcor did, just like the original Nuius Ultra did. The toy is exactly like the card art and very detailed. it makes me ask, this thing actually folds into a ball? Like genuinely, I struggled to believe this thing rolled into a ball at one point. Plus, I kid you not, always when I was younger, I wanted a Mantris but could never ever find one back in the Legacy days. So the fact that I have a few Mantanoids now, especially the Ultra ones, I am a happy, happy boy. Number 4 is Garganoid Ultra. The card art of Garganoid shows that it is massive. It is scary, looming, and towering. But it also shows that it's a gargoyle because in all of its artwork that is depicted in, it's perching over something. You know, guarding it like a gargoyle does in original ideas of what a gargoyle was. And I think that is just perfect, especially in the Aurelus Garganoid artwork, which I have on a card, because it's over what is like a gate on a bridge. It's guarding a gate kind of thing, which I think is just, it's amazing. It's perfect. As for the toy of this Bakugan, it has by far, I think, one of the best, if not the best, flips we've ever gotten out of any Bakugan in the reboot. Hands down. And just like Halcor Ultra I mentioned earlier and Mantanoid Ultra, I genuinely wonder how the hell they managed to come up with this shape that is able to fold nicely, flip, and land nicely into a ball. A teeny tiny plastic ball that does all this magic. It is just, it's one of the best wonders I think to come out of Bakugan in the reboot, period. Number 3 is Harpyrion Core from Armor Alliance. The card art of this Bakugan wins me over here more than the toy, by far. It's a creature based off a sphinx, but with the Egyptian pharaoh thrown in. The wings are a great design choice, and the feline face is way better design choice than using possibly a more human face. Kind of like Fade Ninja or Syndius. I prefer the cat one, the more animalistic one. That, and I think another big reason I love this Bakugan is because you know my channel name. My channel name is Prince of Darkus, and I'm not gonna lie, there are a lot of times where I pictured myself in the show, or the reboot, or anywhere in the new Bakugan world, even in the old one, under the Prince of Darkus identity. And I saw myself using Bakugan based off or resembling some form of royalty or kingdom. And, you know, Bakugan that fit this description are like Trox, the Titan King, or Tyrant King, sorry, Bakugan based off a T-Rex. Hydrus, it's based off the lion, you know, the king of the pride. I was thinking a Garganoid because they used to protect castles and other buildings that are of importance. I was thinking Fangzor because it's a king cobra. I was thinking Syndius because it represented a dark knight kind of thing, you know, that protects the king or the queen or whoever. And Pharaoh fits that description perfectly because, like I said, it's based off a pharaoh and sphinx, and I love the animal design. It is one of the best, I think, period. Like in terms of card art, not the toy. Sadly, not the toy. But genuinely, I even used in the reboot Bakugan video game, Champions of Destroya, my ace was the Darkus Feral, a Hydrus in my party as well, and a Syndius. That was my team. Darkus all the way through, a royalty theme, you know, protecting the king, protecting the prince. That was my team, and I always saw myself, if I were in the show, that Darkus Feral would be my partner. I'm not even joking. I've put so much thought into that and what Bakugan I would have in the show based off royalty and stuff. It just works. Okay, that's one of the bigger reasons I love Pharaoh. The toy is simple. It's nothing very crazy. The only really big thing I loved about the toy is the highlights of the lines on its crown face thing, the Pharaoh thing. The Darkus one specifically has the silver lines, which on mine have faded over time, but when I had it, it looked so stunning. I still have a Ventus one that has the gold lines on it still, which look great, but I still just wish my Darkus one could still have the silver lines and maybe a bit more detail to make it just a little bit more special to me and what it could possibly mean if I were in the show or anywhere in Bakugan media, like in the anime or whatever. Number 2 is Leonidas from Bakugan Evolutions specifically. I'm pointing this out mainly because we have leaks that he's going to be coming back in Legends. So I'm focusing on the Evolutions one, the one that I own, for now. Alright, so Leonidas' design. I'm really not a fan of his new design. I'm not the biggest fan anyway, but I have come to appreciate it. And the card art almost makes him look half diamond or like platinum in a way, I guess. Look, basically there are some very shiny bits on his card, specifically his wings that almost seem translucent in a way. He's also got some kneecap areas, some claws, his midsection as well. They all look very shiny and look more prominent than any other Arliss Bakugan like silver bits on any other card that I've seen. So I think that little extra detail does make it look cooler than other Arliss Bakugan cards with that little bit of thing that makes it look diamond or platinum, or it's a nice touch. I love it. I can't explain it, but I love it. The toy. Oh my word, the toy. I do not, emphasis on do not, like the color on this Bakugan at all. I know that at the start of this video I said I wouldn't be talking about specific color palettes, but there's only one Leonidas in Evolutions, so I'm going to criticize on this Bakugan's color because the image that I got of Leonidas, there was an image, I'll try and find it and put up on screen now. There was an image leaked of Leonidas where he had proper gold, black, and silver bits, that he had like the same kind of color scheme as the Bakugan from Geogan Rising or Secrets of Geogan or whatever. That looked so much better than what we actually got. I kid you not, I looked at this thing and it reminded me of the knockoff Bakugan you would find at a flea market or a dollar store or whatever that wasn't legitimate. It was fake, and it's got that horrible piss yellow looking color instead of gold. I don't like it at all. Thankfully, as for the pre-mentioned leaks I talked about earlier, we know that Leonidas is going to have more forms coming in Bakugan Legends, and I hope to goodness gracious that the new Leonidas color schemes are going to be better than what we got here, because I don't want another piss yellow Leonidas. And I hope to God, or whatever being is up there, that Darkus and Pyrus ones look better, because I cannot handle charcoal black, gray, whatever Darkus Leonidas instead of a pure black one, and I cannot handle oversaturated cheap plastic red Pyrus looking Leonidas. I want a darker red, more something like Geogan Rising. I know Geogan Rising, it's over, that set is done, but the color schemes I had in there were the best ones. I really wish they used more of those color schemes instead of these oversaturated knockoff looking colors we got in the Bakugan Evolutions line. I mean, I love the Ventus coloring and the Chaos coloring, that's cool and all, but I don't like the Arliss or Pyrus at all. Now, for my number one favorite Bakugan to this date, ever since I even heard about it, is Fennec Ultra. The card art of this Bakugan makes it look so damn proud, sharp, and fast, just like my other Bakugan that I liked, and it looks so gosh darn fluffy. I am guilty here of favoritism because Fennec foxes are my favorite animal of all time. Look, I want one as a pet so goddamn bad. Plus, those of you who knew my old channel or watched this channel when I just started will know that my channel mascot at one point was a green Fennec fox. Now, I'm putting a picture on screen right now of the thumbnail, and you can obviously see why I have taken that video down, because there are some people that do not like that image. But anyway, when I saw the Fennec Bakugan announced, I absolutely lost my mind. And I needed, emphasis on needed, a Ventus and Darkus one. Ventus because of the whole green Fennec Fox mascot I had, and Darkus because, well, I'm a Darkus boy. As of right now, recording this video, I currently have in my collection a Ventus Fennec Ultra, which I got from Harpyrion, a Pyrus one I got as well. I also got two of the Chaos Elemental Fennecas, and I got a Darkus Core Fenneca also from Harpyrion, but I really want a Darkus Ultra one, and I don't even stop there. I don't even need the others. I just want Darkus Ultra one, and I'll be a happy boy. As for the toy of this Bakugan, it is double core central. I love making decks where I can mess around with cores so easily. And if you remember earlier, I also talked about Nuius Ultra. I didn't mention that it double cores, but I'm putting this in now while I'm making this video. It also double cores. Great. This Fennec here, double core, double core, double core. I can consistently double core with Fenneca, and it is just perfect with these double cores. Okay? It's got big ears in its design, and Fennec foxes in real life have the biggest ears in proportion to their body out of any animal on the planet, so that works for it. It's got a big fluffy tail that actually splits into three, so that works as well for its design. It's got a tiny body, tiny legs, and a big bobbly head. It is so cute, and I love it. I wish that I had a Fennec, okay? Look, I'm guilty, but I love this Bakugan purely because I love real life Fennecs. That, and actually I'm using a Fennec right now in a deck, and I mean Fennec Ultra, sorry, in a deck, oof, and it's always done wonders for me, okay? I love it. So, with all that nonsense and my babbling done, let me know what your favorite Bakugan of 2022 is. If any of yours were in this video, just let me know in the comments down below. And if any of your favorite Bakugan has changed maybe over the past few years because of new Bakugan being released, let me know what your original favorite was and what your current favorite is. I'd love to hear that. I guess I'll see you all in the next year. This will be the last video for me, like, till next year. So, bye-bye.